2011 Tacoma compressor clutch slipping. Here's the damage to the original. You can see crazy how it started to separate from the hub here. Anyway, this part is separating from here. Yeah, there it is. But you obviously see no friction material. Totally burned out, here. This is a $50 aftermarket, clutch, and I just wanted to show you some of the things I learned. The first thing is don't go from the top. You really don't need to, but while I'm here, I'll show you. You can see some of my handiwork down there, which we will be discussing. That is the ground for the clutch, and that little bolt, that little 8mm, will not come out. So you'll see that I basically had to crimp my wire onto the old crimps that were sitting there, and that took a long time, a lot of patience. So I'm just going to go underneath and show you kind of a run through of what the deal is with this stuff. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. But getting it from the bottom is actually great. I mean, you really don't even need a creeper, I used one, but you don't even have to jack the car up. Just pull the lower panel down, that shield, and hopefully your bolts don't break off, but lube them up first. So here is the new, so it's the outer friction, the pulley, it's got the other side of the friction, and then the coil behind it. And you'll see that I had to basically attach to the ground there, which was just a total mess. Let's see if I can focus that. Yeah, I mean, basically that bolt will not come out. And you can see I threw some heat on it and burned that wire back there. Just the loom, the wire's fine, so I'm just gonna leave it. I should have just disconnected this connector here, which you have to anyway to really get at this. This comes apart on this side, and this rubber weather seal you have to slip on. If you have the aftermarket one, you have to slip it on over, and I found that I had to spread my terminal to fit the female side. I had to spread the male side to make it bigger so it would fit tight in there, and big mess. But I think it's going to be all right. It does run. It does blow cold. The specifications of your clearance are going to be 12 to 24 thousandths of an inch. So I've got my old school feeler gauge. This is a 14 thousandths, and it fits, pretty nicely up there. And what I did notice was when you take the when you take this out, there was like it wasn't a shim, it was like a washer that was in there that gives you, because I put all 3 shims in that came with the kit, and it still wasn't enough clearance. You could feel that when I spun this, it was, why does this feel like it's locked up? Weird. Okay. It's just the compressor was running. Yeah, so there's actually like a little washer that's in there that is your shim, and then the other ones are thinner shims, and you're going to need all 3 plus that larger spacer to get the clearance that you need. I used a strap wrench. Well, when I was taking this off, I clamped it here with vice grips to get this to come out. And it was it was an 8mm that came out, and the aftermarket kit's got this weird inverted Torx thing, which is fine. It will never come out. It'll be impossible to take off, let me put it that way, next time I have to do this job. But when I tightened it down, I used a strap wrench, this thing, to hold it, right, while I was tightening it. But then, you know, obviously coming off, I could destroy the old one, and I just vice gripped it here. The snap rings are difficult to take out. You know, you have to use some mirrors and stuff, but you know, your Harbor Freight set can do the job, and you know, it just takes a lot of patience looking at this stuff. But going back together, once I got that ground strap hooked up, was pretty smooth. And obviously, you know, once you get the snap ring out, to pull this off, I just, you know, hit it with the hammer. Let me just get some more shots for you. Maybe this side. I hit it from a hammer on the back side. So I was kind of like whacking it like here and up and wobbling it, and you don't need a puller to take it off. Mine came off pretty good, and obviously I've got a lot of salt and stuff on this truck. So yeah, that's the other good news. And then going on with the new one, you know, really wasn't too bad. You know, it basically, I gave it a few taps with the plastic hammer, just, you know, and once it was in, the snap rings snapped, and we knew we were good to go. So that is the tough life of, you know, the shade tree mechanic. Absolute chaos. But it is not for the faint of heart, this job. But it can be done, and you can fix your compressor clutch for $50. So that's the good news. Good luck.